My name is Sarah. I'm from Maryland. 31 years ago, I had an abortion because I was in a relationship that I was in the process of ending. I didn't want my life to change. I didn't want my freedoms limited. And I wanted to go to college and believe that I wouldn't pursue my education if I had a baby. I thought that I would be much better off and happier if I terminated the pregnancy. There was an older woman I worked with who told me how to go about getting the abortion. No one told me that I would regret this decision. Within a day, I had an appointment to have the abortion. At the clinic, I wasn't given any counseling whatsoever. During the abortion procedure, I couldn't help but feel that the doctor was irritated with me. He gave me the impression that he was disgusted that girls like me were making him have to do this job. Immediately after the abortion, I felt relieved that I was no longer pregnant. I decided not to think about it, and I really was unaware that I had any pain over it. It was as if it had happened to someone else. Because you can't mourn over something you can't feel. I no longer wanted to continue in school, so I dropped out of college. I proceeded to get involved in relationships which weren't healthy. I was partying, I was doing drugs, I had no desire to have children. But if you would have asked me if abortion was the cause, I know I wouldn't have been able to tell you that. After I found Jesus Christ as my Savior, which was 25 years ago, I was encouraged to confess any past sin in order to keep the enemy from using it against me. I acknowledged the guilt of my sin at that time, but didn't know the gravity of it, not even a little bit. Many years later, I had a vision of meeting my child in heaven, and when I saw him, I knew who he was immediately. I saw his whole personality, his potential, his impact on others in his life, and I saw that I was responsible for taking all of that away. God met me in that grief. He absolved me, He comforted me, and restored me. This revelation was a gift because you can't mourn over something you can't feel. Several years after that, I had another revelation. I heard a young woman talking about how her peers had been taken away by abortion, and I knew that I was guilty of taking away my sister's nephew, my niece's cousin, my father's grandson, etc. And that brought a new sense of the impact of what I had done. God again met me in that grief. He absolved me, He comforted me, He restored me. This revelation was a gift because you can't mourn over something you can't feel. In 2009, I attended a Rachel's Vineyard retreat. I wanted to make sure that I could confidently refer other women there. All of the same steps the Lord had worked in my heart over the past 24 years were included in that one weekend. It was a place where women could get in touch with the emotional pain they've been disconnected from. I highly recommend it to anyone either suffering or not suffering from a past abortion. Why do I say not suffering? If you have had an abortion and you have been forgiven, you may believe that you have also been totally healed. But if you have never felt the pain and grief associated with that day, that is possible. You can go through life thinking you're okay. I can tell you there is much healing to be done. It's unnatural for a woman to kill her child and feel nothing. You can't mourn what you can't feel, and that's an indication that you have not been healed. Please attend a Rachel's Vineyard retreat and allow God to bring to the surface the part of your soul which you have locked away. He will heal you completely if you give Him the chance. I wrote a song about my experience, and the refrain goes like this. Where's the shame, covered with Christ's blood? Where's the pain, being healed by God's love? Where's the truth? It's a sharp sword in my mouth. Where's the fear? By love it's been cast out. In my life, I've exercised all of my reproductive rights. I have 6 children on earth, and I have had 4 miscarriages, including a ruptured ectopic pregnancy. But of all those choices I made, there's only one that I regret, and that's my abortion. that's why I'm silent no more.